our first day arriving to Hotel Riu Republica in Dominican Republic. So first getting here, we were excited. We're still excited because we got 3 more days left. But we were excited. It was just different. The whole atmosphere is just different. It's just way different than out in the United States where we live in Houston. So we get here and we catch a shuttle. Once we catch the shuttle, we go in, show our passports, and then soon as we get into the airport, people just come out of everywhere. It's like people just popped out of the walls, out of the floors, like, hey, buy this, hey, come give me this, give me this, give me that. So right when we got there, it was like people were just begging immediately. It was like immediate begging. Oh, come here, I got the excursion deals. Hey, I got boat parties. It's like we couldn't even focus on like getting our bags because people were just in our face like right away, to the point, I'm not gonna lie, right away it got annoying. We didn't even touch down. It was probably less than like 5 minutes from the time we got our passport to actually walking into the airport. It was just like people just begging. So at that point we're like, okay, cool, whatever. And we end up wasting time with this one guy for like almost an hour of him trying to persuade us to buy this package deal with the horse riding and zip lining. But mind you, we just touched down. We know nothing about this place. All of us are newbies. We know nothing about this place. So we're literally like, yo, dude, we don't want to make a decision right now. We're trying to get our bags and get to the resort. No, we're trying to get to the resort and you're trying to sell us this package and we're like 40 minutes away from the resort. Dude, so once we were done with him, we got a taxi. And the guy that drove us there, he was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, he was a pretty cool cat. He didn't seem like he was trying to scam us or want money. He was just cool, calm, collected. I'm like, okay, I got a good vibe from him. As we're driving, you could just tell, man, it's poverty stricken. You can tell. You could just tell immediately as you're driving there. You're like, dang. I mean, it's beautiful scenery, trees and landscaping is beautiful, but like the buildings and like the place where people live, you could tell it's just, it's poverty, So we're driving, we get to the resort and put our bags up and, we freshen up, we come out, and the resort, immediately we could tell there was a lot of couples. There's a lot of like groups, like, like people, a big group of people came with each other, or it's like a bunch of couples. It wasn't really what we thought or expected. We thought it was just going to be like people wilding out, drinking and like, but it was none of that. It was more like people kind of closed off in their little groups, talking and chilling. But mind you, we got here around like 3 or 4. So maybe everybody winded down. But I noticed immediately, like, it wasn't what I thought it was. But don't get me wrong, I was still enjoying myself, still enjoying myself. There's beautiful women, but it was American women. Like, it wasn't what others explained to me, because other people that have traveled here, they didn't stay at resorts. They actually, experienced the real DR. We're experiencing tourism DR, and it's not the same as like outside of the resort. So I noticed immediately, I was like, okay, this kind of just reminds me of like back home. It's just we're in a different country. I mean, just around American people. So later on that day, we decided, let's go change again and let's actually go do something outside of the resort. Now this is where it got crazy. I said, okay, cool. Not gonna lie, I downloaded Tinder. I'm just exploring. Now, it wasn't for sexual exchanges or anything. I just wanted to meet people, meet women. Now, I already know that a lot of these women, a lot of times they set guys up. I'm not stupid. I did my research, so I wasn't gonna fall for any of that. So long story short, we found this spot to go to. We ended up getting a taxi there. And the girl that I met on Tinder was like, yo, I'm going to be there. I'm come to this spot. And we start talking a little bit. And she's like, I'm pretty, right? And then she says something about me giving her money. So I immediately kind of just like, okay, I'm kind of done with her. But I still kind of entertained her. So we get to the spot. Right when we get out the Uber, people were begging immediately. And it's almost like, yo, we're trying to have fun, but y'all are like begging for money. Little kids coming up to me with like bracelets. I gave one kid another $1. Another kid came up, I gave him $1. Another kid came up, I gave him $1. And then another dude, I'm like, okay, all right, okay. I'm trying to have fun. All right, I get it, okay. Y'all noticed immediately that I'm American, not from here. Yeah, they'll take advantage of you if you let them. So we like, whatever, we get into the bar. Now we're thinking that, okay, everything's gonna be cheaper because, we got the American dollar. But no, what they do, they just price everything up to equal basically what we would pay out in the States. I mean, that's basically what they did. Everything costs the same. I mean, I don't understand people, oh, it's so cheap over there. Where? I mean, how's it cheaper? I mean, yeah, our dollar's worth more, but if they price their shit up way up there to equal what we would pay out in the States, we're really just paying the same thing. So that was a bummer. We were like, okay, this is basically the same stuff we do back at home. Then the women, not gonna lie, bro, the women are aggressive. They will stare and just stare and just stare. There was one point where me and my homie was chilling and he was like, yo, these girls are looking at you. And I looked up, it was a table full of 4 girls. I looked up and they just kept staring at me. And then they all put their heads down. They were just kind of like, I'm like, yo, and this kept happening all night. I'm sitting down, a girl walked by and she was just stare. I'm like, yo, but like I said, I did my research and one of these ladies that live here, she said that's what Dominican women do. They will stare at you and let you know like, hey, I want you. But me not being a vagina thirsty guy, and plus I'm practicing abstinence, that stuff doesn't intrigue me because 9 times out of 10, I already know that they're probably, living in poverty and they're looking at me as a money machine. And I had on my chains and my watch. So they're looking like, oh, he got money. So let me try to stare him down and get him to come to me. But I didn't. I just looked back at him and I didn't show them any attention. No attention at all. Like, I was like, whatever. I already know what they want. They don't really want me. I'm not down with that. Like, I'm not thirsty. I'm not that thirsty. And they were beautiful women. They weren't ugly. Then, yeah, so we kind of got annoyed. The whole night, it was just them trying to hustle us the whole night. Everything we did, they were just trying to hustle us. So we was like, you know what? The first night really was okay. It was an experience, but I will give you day 2 tomorrow, how that goes. And last thing, there was the lady that I met on Tinder. She was actually at the spot, and I actually seen her, but she was with a guy. And like I said, I'm not dumb. I know that guys out here will pimp women and like train them to talk to American men to get money to bring it to them. So I could have been wrong, could have been judging a book by its cover. But once I seen that, I said, she's with a dude. I'm not stupid. I didn't even say nothing to her. I walked right by her. And then the funny part is she's like, where you at? And I'm like, hey, I'm here. But I didn't like make it be known that I was like really just there. I didn't really want to interact with her because I'm not stupid. I already know what these women. She was a very beautiful woman. Big old booty, nice face, but I already know what she was about. And then I met these other chicks. Oh, last thing, I met these other chicks at a bar. They were just staring me down. Then one girl, she like, was like sniffing my shirt. She's like, ooh, that's you, Poppy. You smell good. I was like, thank you. She started rubbing on my beard. It was just weird. Like, she was like fixated on me. But once again, she probably thinks I'm rich or whatever. She's like, oh, you're so handsome. Then some bartender, a guy was like, he's beautiful. And at that point, I got the hell up out of there. But anyways, I'm going to give y'all day 2 tomorrow. We'll see how that goes.